Okay then guys, in this part of the training I'm going to be showing you how to do your on-page SEO. So when you apply these tips, it's going to help you get ranked in Google as high as possible. Plus we're going to be using some free plugins that are going to further enhance your rankings in Google. So if you want to learn how to optimize your post for optimal SEO performance and get top Google rankings, then this is how to do it. So in this part of the training, I'm going to show you how to optimize your web page for the best possible performance so you can get the highest ranking that you can in Google. So the first thing that we need to work with is the keyword. So which keyword are we going to be optimizing our web page for? So if you remember in the previous training, the keyword I was working with was how to lose weight by swimming. So the first thing that we do is to go to the headline, and as you can see here it says how to lose weight by swimming. So I've got the keyword there, and then I've got using these 4 top tips. So the first thing that I want you to notice is that I've front loaded the headline with my main keyword, and then I would add some additional words to try and sell it, because when people are going through the search results you've really got to try and sell the click to entice them, and the best way to do that is to arouse curiosity and mention a benefit as well. So these shocking tips are going to get you faster results than ever before. Probably a bit too wordy, but you get what I mean. So you want to use curiosity and benefit, and that's going to really help enticing people to check out your website by clicking on the link in the search results. Then the second place where we want to put our keyword is in the permalink. So all you got to do is just click on edit and pasting the main keyword, and then click OK, and WordPress will automatically hyphenate the keyword for you. I wouldn't put any additional keywords in there because we're not really targeting anything else for this particular post. So moving down to the post itself, one thing that I like to do is to literally open up the post with the keyword in the very first sentence, and this is one of the many ways that I would do that. So I would say, so you want to learn how to lose weight by swimming, huh? So that's one way that you can do that. It's a really easy way to get your keyword in there. Another way that you can do this is by saying something like, I've been getting a lot of emails. It seems to me that people want to learn how to lose weight by swimming. So I decided to write this article, or something like that. And basically I go into the introduction, and you've got to remember as well that you want to lightly pepper your main keyword into the article early and often. Not too much, because if you do it too many times then you're going to get a negative effect instead of a positive effect, and if you put it in too much it's going to actually make your rankings worse. And I'll be telling you how to do that in just a couple of minutes towards the end of this part of the training. Now, before I actually go into the article itself, there's a couple of things that I want to touch on. Now, they say the longer the article, the better they rank, and I don't necessarily agree with that. However, I do believe the longer the article, the better results you're going to get. And the reason for that is because the longer the article, the more words you're going to have in it, obviously. But these words are going to be closely related to your keyword, and as a result you're going to start showing up for different variations related to your main keyword. You could be showing up for how to lose lots of weight by swimming, or losing weight just by swimming tips, or something like that. So the longer the article, the more keywords you're going to have in there. As a result of that, you're going to be showing up for more longer tail and more variations of your keyword and things like that. Another thing that I recommend that you do in your article, if you remember in the previous training, when we do a search for our main keyword, Google suggests additional closely related keywords, and these are the ones that I've got here. And what I recommend that you do is to place these keywords into your article as well. And what will happen is that your article will appear for these additional keywords as well, therefore getting you even more bang for your buck, because you're showing up for more variations of the keywords once again, and you're going to get a lot more views as well. So going down, the first thing that I want to point out here is the headline. Now, I recommend to use a headline 2, and I would bold it. And as you can see, I've got my keyword in there. So it's what are the best ways on how to lose weight by swimming. So you can see the keyword there. Make sure that you've got the keyword, and also have the variations of the keywords in there as well. So I go in there and I'm doing like a top 4 ways to lose weight with swimming and things like that. Now, what I want you to do here is to put an image or two, depending on how big your article is. I mean, if it's a 500-word article, 1 or 2 images will suffice. If it's like 2,000, 3,000, then you want to put a few more in there. And the reason for that is because it breaks up the article and it makes it easier to consume for your viewer. Because you're going to get a lot of people, it doesn't matter how good your sales copy is, you're always going to get lots of people that's just going to briefly skim through and look for the parts that apply to them, and images can help them see the parts that they want to see. Now, when you do upload an image, if you remember in the previous training where I recommended to use Smosh WordPress plugin, and what that'll do, that will shrink the image, make it lighter, and as a result it will make it load faster for your visitors. And if you remember what I said in the previous training, the faster the loading the page, the better the end user experience, and as a result of that, it's going to rank higher in Google. But I'm going to show you how to take it to the next level, and this is what I do personally. I don't think everyone will be able to apply what I'm about to show you, but if you can, go for it. So what you want to do when using an image in your post, you want to use a photo editing software. Now, I'm using Photoshop, but you might have another version on your computer that you want to use, but I'll just briefly show you what I do with Photoshop. If you've got Photoshop, that's super amazing, by the way, but if you haven't, it doesn't matter. And if you haven't got any photo editing software, you can just skip this part completely. But what I like to do is to put the image into Photoshop, and the first thing I always ask myself is, can I make the image smaller? Because the smaller the image, the faster it will load up, because it's using less pixels. So if I wanted to make the image smaller, I would go to image, go to image size, and then I would put this to %, because it just makes it easier to work with. And then what I would do then, I would have a guess and say it'd be about 80 to 90%. So I'll just go with 90 at the moment, because sometimes you can get an image and it's absolutely huge, and if it's a really big image, it's going to take a lot longer to load up, and it's going to have a negative effect on your rankings as a result. So we shrink down the image as much as we can without going too far, obviously. And then what we do then is, when we're ready, we can go to save for web. Now, what we need to do here is to play around with the settings and to get this number as low as possible. So it's down to 38k. So you want to play around and see which ones. Now, generally, it's going to be JPEG or PNG-8. So we'll just try this one here. That's too high. So we'll drop down the colors to 32. It's still too high compared to the original setting. Okay, so we got it to 35, but here's the thing, it's lost too much quality, it's too pixelated. So we'll just go back to JPEG. Actually, we'll try GIF and see what it's like with GIF. I think it's going to be the same. Generally, GIF and PNG are very similar, but GIF seems to be a more bloated image type. PNG is always going to be the best one, but I'll just try PNG 24. No. So we'll go back to JPEG, and we will put this down to see what it looks at 20. Yeah, it looks fine, and we've got it down to 14. So it was 35, and now we've got it down to 14, and we could probably even take it even further down without losing any visual quality. So as you can see, I've put it down to 15 and it's now at 11. The end result of this is that it's going to load a lot faster and give a much better end user experience, and as I'll keep saying, it's going to help with rankings because you're giving a brilliant end user experience for your viewers. So if you're happy with that, what you would do then is you click save, and you would choose where to save it and things like that. And I'll just close this down because this is all one big example. And then obviously you would drag it into your post editor, and then you would make the changes there. Now once you've got your image in there, what you can do is just double click on it, go to edit. And what you want to do is make sure that your keyword appears with the image as many times as possible. So for your alternative text, you can put in how to lose weight by swimming. And then for caption, I've got, this isn't something I'd recommend if you want to know how to lose weight by swimming. So I've got the keyword there. Okay, and I've put some emojis in there. I don't know if that's going to help or hinder or anything like that. I don't think it'll make any difference whatsoever. But I put them in because that's what everybody does in this day and age. And then I've put the keyword here, and then I've put the keyword there. And once I've done that, I would also make sure that it displays it at the full size and it's center, and I wouldn't link to anything unless it's vital to link to something, but generally I would make sure not to link because it just would be pointless. So then I would click on update. So as you can see here, I've got the article. Here's the image that I was optimizing earlier. Obviously this is all an example, so I'm not going to like re-upload the image, but you get what I mean. And I'm using the captions. Once again, if we go back to captions here, and I've got the keyword there. The best way on how to lose weight by swimming is to swim hard and fast to get your heart rate up. So you can see that I've dropped the keyword in there, which will help. And then I've got the keyword by itself, the keyword by itself, and things like that. Another thing with these sub headlines, I would recommend to make them a free. Put it back. And if you can, try and put the keyword in there or the variations of the keywords as well. And then there's the button here. Just like the other images, I would do the exact same thing with this button. As in, I would put it into Photoshop or some other photo editing software, and then I would shrink the image as much as I can, and I would use the best, most optimized image type to get it as light as possible so it loads as fast as possible. And then we're going down here. So the next thing that I would recommend, and if you did download Yoast SEO from my previous training, we can use this to further optimize your post for SEO. So what you want to do here, if you've got Yoast SEO already installed, is you can put your main keyword. Now Yoast calls it focus keyword, but it's the same thing, main keyword, focus keyword, whatever. And as you can see with Yoast, it brings up what it will look like. So we're currently viewing it what it looks like on a smart device, so that'll be a tablet or a phone, and you can click on this one here if you want to see what it looks like on desktop. Now whatever you put up here for your headline will automatically appear here. So if you want to make any changes to that, you have to change the headline. Keep that in mind. And if you want to update your description, which I recommend that you do, you click on there, and Yoast will give you these cool little boxes to help you, show you if you're on the right track or not with the length, because if you go too long with this, it's obviously Google's going to cut some of it up and it's going to be harder to read, and as a result it's going to be less enticing for them to click. So what I do recommend is to make sure that your keyword shows up in the meta description. So I've got here, here's the best way on how to lose weight by swimming using my 4 best tips to get you the results in the quickest and easiest time possible. So I've got the keyword right there, which that tells Google what this article is all about. Now, don't put the keyword in there more than once. Just keep it there once and it should be completely fine. Another thing as well, with the SEO title, Yoast may recommend other things as well, like website name and things like that. Me personally, I get rid of all that, so it's just the title there. You'll see what I mean when you're in your post editor and you're looking at the Yoast SEO settings. They'll have headline, website name, things like that. Just have the title there. Now, carrying on with the SEO, one thing that Yoast does really well is that it has this built-in SEO analyst tool here. So we click on there, and what you can do is to try and turn these all green. So as you can see, I've got these all green. And if you're not sure what they mean, you can simply click on here, and you also have a little article on what this thing actually means. And they're only little, like a little 2-minute read for each thing explaining what these are. But it's all quite simple stuff to understand. And for those who don't know how many times you should have your keyword in there, it shows you here keyword density. So with this article, Yoast is saying the focus keyword was found 6 times. This is great. So 6 times in a 762 word article is something that you probably want to go for and all that. Now, another thing that I want to recommend is the readability analyst. So if we click on there, and this is going to improve the readability. Now, there's a bit of debate whether this has an SEO benefit or not. Now, I will say this. I've been ranking multiple websites for the same keyword, and what I've found is that the web pages from these websites that I'm trying to rank for this particular keyword, the ones that have the readability optimized so they're all green, have ranked better than the ones that wasn't optimized. And I don't know if it's because of that, but those are the benefits that I got. So I would recommend to optimize your writing using the readability analyst. It's going to obviously make it more readable, and I think that's the trick here, why those web pages from those websites are ranking better than the other web pages from the other websites that are ranking for the same keyword. Because it's not because Google like these kinds of criteria or metrics when it comes to ranking, but I think when people come over and if it's more readable, that means they're going to stay on your web page longer, and that improves your engagement rate, and that tells Google that people are staying on this website or this web page. Therefore, we're serving them the right page, and we must push it up even higher. So I don't think it's directly affecting my SEO, but it's directly affecting people who visit my webpage and they're staying on longer, and the engagement is improving, and Google is seeing that, and as a result it's ranking better. So there we have it. That's how to SEO optimize your web page for the best possible rankings. It's fairly easy, especially if you're using Yoast SEO plugin. It just kind of tells you everything what you need to do. So follow the instructions for the SEO analyst there and readability analyst as well. So once you've optimized your web page, I'll see you in the next part of the training.
Hey guys, it's James here, and a massive thank you for watching this part of the training. Now, if you've got any questions about what was taught in this particular part of the method, then please leave a question down below and I will get back to you personally and answer your question for you. I'm always here to help, because I want to help you get the results that you're after. Now, if you enjoyed the video, I would super appreciate it if you hit the like button. Plus, if you want to be notified when I'm posting on this YouTube channel, my future training, then hit subscribe and give that bell a good old ding as well. Now, if you're ready for the next part of the training, there should be a thumbnail that will magically appear somewhere. Give that a good old click and you'll be instantly redirected to the next part of the free training in this series. Now, if that's not there for whatever reason, then don't worry, I've got your back covered. I've got some more free training in the description box, and it's basically a method on how to make money online using free methods, and it's 100% free to access. But that said, I would recommend to go through this series first, and once you've completed this series of training, then I would go and check out this other free course that I've got for you. That said and done, whichever path you choose, I'll see you in the next part of the training. See you there.